Welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz, and with Jan Erik Frank, and we are live for the Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 4 for the limited edition 12 goal. I have all the players ready to go out there with our 2-mount officials. So Jan Erik Frank, take it away.
Thank you very much. Also from me, a very warm welcome. Thank you for once again having me here at Grand Champions. I'd like to introduce you to the two teams. We have Team Windswept, as Dale was just saying, against Team Dundas. Let's start with Team Windswept. We have Harrison Reicher at number 1 playing off 0 goals. Then we have the 3 Merloses by number 2 will be Rufino playing off 1 goal. Tincho at number 3 off 7 goals. And Santos Merlos playing, matching the number on his shirt of 4 goals. For Dundas, Sarah Siegel Magnus at 0. Mia Cambiaso at 2. Robertito Zeda at number 3 playing off 4 goals. And Geronimo Obregon playing at number 4 of 5 goals. Just to remind you which colours they are playing in. Dundas, of course, in the red shirts, and Windswept in the dark. In the other way around. I do apologise, the other way around. Windswept in the dark shirts and Dundas in the traditional red shirts.
No, Dundas in the black shirts, and we have the Windswept team will be in the maroon shirts today. And so we'll pick this up a little bit as we go along, Jan, as they're back to the action. They're coming in really quick. So I know these two teams as Jan Erik Frank back in the saddle with us here on CTV Sports. But as we go with the Dundas team here in the black jerseys, and on the far side, that's going to be controlled by Robertito Zeta. Zeta on the move, and Zeta has control. And when he gets the two ladies going out in front, and when I say the two ladies, I mean Sarah Siegel-Magnus and Mia Cambiaso. They have been a dynamic duo. Once again, in the red jerseys, Harrison Reicher, Rufino Merlos, Tincho Merlos, and Santos Merlos. The Merloses, and remember the Merloses is Tincho is the father of Rufino, and his nephew is Santos. And Sebastian Merlos and Silvina is his mother, and Selena is the mom of Rufino and the wife of Tincho. And on the move right here in the red jersey and the black helmet is going to be Santos. Santos Merlos now, he'll slow it down, try to control this one. Nice ride off here by, looks like Zeta, and we'll get our first whistle of the day. Boy, this is going to be fast and furious, Jan and Frank.
Absolutely it is. And just to also remind you that, of course, Dundas coming in off 11 goals. They've been given a +1 handicap as Windswept coming in off 12 goals. And so don't be surprised why we have that one score already up on the score sheet, as I say, for the team in the black shirts, Team Dundas. And I, as you said, Dale, very much looking forward to remember how well she played last season. Sarah Siegel-Magnus, Mia Cambiaso, of course, always a pleasure to watch. And then, of course, combined 9 goals, Robertito Zeta 4, and Geronimo Obregon, very, very strong hitter, playing off 5 goals. So very excited and thrilled to be here at Grand Champions.
On the penalty open goal, and this kid has been amazing. Oh, I just wanted to give Rufy so much love. He has been 100% this year, the number 2, Rufy Merlos, on 1 goal. Yan, you got to keep an eye on this kid. He has been playing superior polo. That's the first miss I think he's made all year. You can see him probably cock his head back, but this will be a strong one, and I will tell you that I'm not surprised that probably Adolfo Cambiaso, the GOAT, is down in the tent down there coaching the Dundas team today. I didn't see him pull in today, but he has been coaching this team as the league has gone on.
I'm sure he has, and if he is, of course, here, a very good afternoon to you, sir. Great to have you. He's normally always there when one of his member of the family play. So, 5:16, another whistle on the clock, as we wait and see what that combination of Esteban Ferrari, our Argentine umpire, and, of course, from the United Kingdom, Mr. Roddy Matthews, will make it is. And it looks like a penalty 4 is the outcome.
Yeah, so they're going to go back here. So this one's going to be a run and gun, and keep an eye on this game. Field 4 here, immaculate at the Grand Champions Polo Club. Once again, we do apologize as we had 2 amazing games in our 6th goal, the Metropolitan Cup. Juan Bellini Sr. scoring almost a coast-to-coast run, but at least 3/4 of the field on the breakaway play to win the game for the polo school today and be the only team to be 2-0. On the penalty 4, it's going to be Robertito Zeta.
Pretty straight from where I'm sitting. The umpire raises his hand. Cracking goal. Robertito Zeta gets the opening score in this game, putting his team now up by 2 goals. Remember, they had that +1 when they came, so 2 goals to 0 in favor of Dundas.
Yeah, this is something that the Dundas team has done very well this season, and we've seen it in the 8th goal also. They capitalize on their handicap, and they've done a great job doing that early. This is a team they want to do it against, because this Merlos team, this Windswept team with little Harrison Reicher on an A rating is very, very tough. On the move, it's going to be Santos.
Once again on the move, Merlos here. Nicely done. Gets into a little bit of traffic. Picked up now by Cambiaso. Stops, turns, has a little look. She's got a man on. That's the number 2 there in red, Rufino Merlos. And as you said, Dale, very much looking forward to seeing, well, always anything that's got the name Merlos or Cambiaso, of course, or, of course, Obregon and Zeta is worth looking at. And this 12-goal match is opening, and there it is. Cheeky little play under the neck, and that is the first goal here for Windswept.
Santos is going to pick this one up, and playing the number 4, Merlos, he is a stick man. He plays with his Uncle Tincho in the front, in the middle, and he plays in between. They'll use Harrison Reicher to pull the team, and then Rufino Merlos, he'll play right behind them. Tincho, he kind of lets all the young polo stars do what they want, and then he kind of plays around them. He's a great captain. Tincho Merlos, former 10-goal player, in the 12-goal here. That brings a lot of pressure. Look at this. It's going to be Tincho.
On the move, Merlos.
No, I'm sorry. It's Rufino.
Rufino Merlos on the move, picking up that win from the throw-in. And this game also not wasting any time and really getting itself going. A long distance shot on goal. It goes through. Cracking goal. Goal number 2 here for Windswept.
So there you go. They win the bowl in after getting an amazing run one way, and then they bring it back the other. And this is what this Windswept team does. They capitalize on the energy. And we're going to click down to about 3 minutes here by the time the umpire gets back to center. That's Esteban Ferrari. Also in the saddle today with Roddy Matthews, 2 of our top umpires that will be working in the 5th year of the World Polo League. Steve Lane working as our third man / IRO with the iPad right here in front of him. And we've been working on this technology with using the iPad in real time. And, man, Steve and I have enjoyed that to have the right here with us, Steve. Steve's shaking his head over here with me. And this should be a back-and-forth game here. And get ready for this one. Strap your seatbelt on, man, because it's going to go back and forth.
Now, I'm very much looking forward to it. So, as you said, first courtesy change and players to be out shortly. And already we've seen 3 goals, 2 Merloses, Rufino and Tincho scoring, and, of course, Roberto Zeda. So I think we're going to see a lot of great polo and a lot of goals here. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game as the players make their way back out. As you can see on the scoreboard here, just shy of 3 minutes left to play in the first of our, of course, 6 chuckers here. Field number 4. And can I just say, Dale, what an immaculate field 4 this is looking
like. Oh, truly amazing. You can see the World Polo League flags flying in the distance on your backdrops. Now, I did get to interview Sarah, or I spoke to Sarah. She did take a fall, and she is working a bit of a rotator cuff injury. Right. She said she's okay, but she is working a bit of a rotator cuff, so we'll see if that causes any problems as the game goes on.
Now, picked up very quickly there by Tincho after the throw-in. Trying to send the ball up to Harrison Reich. He was at the front door waiting for that ball to come, and a little bit of a disarray going on. The umpires both blowing the whistle simultaneously.
Yeah, so finding on the ball right there, in control, is going to be Obregon, and you can see that you have Merlos coming from behind, and as my man Steve Lane sitting right here to the left of me, as the elbow does not bend that direction, so you cannot ride from behind a player to steal the ball. You must come from the side. The problem with trying to steal the ball from the side is 9 times out of 10, the man who has the ball makes a hook on that player, and then he rides down the field. It is a difficult play to make, but it does happen on the field, and so they'll drop the ball from the spot for a penalty 5A in favor of Dundas, and it's going to be, it looks like, Geronimo.
Obregon. And I remember from last year what a strong, very, very strong 5-goal player he is. Cambiasso with a bit of a spin on her wrist here. Will she check up? I think she will. She knows she's got a man on in the form of Tincho Merlos. Taking the ball out into the corner. Merlos sticking to her there. Picked up once again now by the number 3 by Robertito Zeda. Obregon working very, very hard, and he's a tough player to get past by any way. Imagine I've lost the words there.
Well, he's a man you got to go too hard. I can understand what you're saying there, Jan. He's so tough. You got to send 2 players to him, and a great job they did.
Stretch of the imagination was I was trying to say, all in one word.
Well, you stretched all of our imagination with that one, I can tell you that.
Thank you very much.
But don't worry, that's what happened. But, you're going to watch this. One of the things that both of these teams do very well, Jan, is they will release off another player, and they'll go 2-on-1 when they need to. They're well-schooled, both of these teams. You can see all of the 10-goalers around them. First of all, you have Santos Merlos, whose father, Sevi, was 10 goals. Then you have Tincho, who was 10 goals, playing with his son. Harrison Reicher's had the opportunity to play with all of these players, and, of course, Adolfo is here coaching his daughter, and he gets to work with all these players. Zeda's been around them, and it looks like now the open goal is going to be taken by Sarah Siegel-Magnus.
And she just slightly rolled her wrist on that one and went out to the left-hand side. But you did say she's
could be, could be that rotator cuff. She said she was working it, and it was, she wasn't worried about it. But I'm sure it's probably a little different. She usually, the last game we saw her play here, Yan, we were here early. Steve and I, we watched her hit about 30 to 40 balls before the game.
Right.
And I doubt she did that today just because of the injury. But here we go, back to the knock game with 1:30 on the clock.
And that's a very solid backhand there once again coming in from Robertito Zeda. And just as I was hoping to see that ball run all the way through, we have another interruption. 1:21 now left to play in this opening chukker. And what a fast-paced chukker for this, the first, for me at least, limited edition 12 goal of 2023.
Knock up your alarm clock, golf. Wake up here, Jan Meister. Here we are. We're back to the action, baby. We just went from the 6 to the 12, and I know that 6 goal looked like it was 12 goal polo, and I guarantee you that this 12 goal is going to seem more like 18 goal polo. It has been very, very fast, and some of the best four-legged athletes in the world out here, as every league has stepped up with the four-legged athlete being so important in the game. Now, Sarah Siegel-Magnus and Ruffino, they take all the short penalties for both of their teams. Both of them have missed one early, but I know Sarah, she'll step back up. She's been 100% this year. Very strong on her penalties, ice in her veins, as I say. So she'll wait for, it looks like he usually lets Robertito or Geronimo tee the ball for her. And it's going to be Sarah Siegel-Magnus to do the honors on the open goal.
A lot more power in that shot, and this time no mistake, cracking goal there. Sarah Siegel-Magnus getting her first in this, the first chukker, and by doing so puts their team in the lead by 3-2.
And a great combination, as Robertito usually takes the 60s, and Sarah Siegel-Magnus takes the short ones, the 2s and the 3s, and there you go. She missed the first one, steps up, takes the second one, no problem.
And that will be a confidence booster, I'm sure. But I like the tenacity there that she, after she missed that first one, wanted to come back, make it all right, and she did. So well done you, Sarah Siegel-Magnus, as I say, putting her team back in the lead. Remember, they got that goal on handicap at the beginning. And 2 goals scored now, one by Sarah, one by Robertita, makes it 3-2. And we're down to the last few seconds here in the first chukker. They change ends, and that's a steal. A nice little steal there by the number 3, Tincho Merlos, picking up his first of the afternoon. It is afternoon now, so all the Merlosos now having scored in the first chukker. And with that horn, with that siren, that concludes the end of chukker number 1. And we'll be back in just a few moments for chukker number 2. Stay with us. It's 3 goals apiece in this limited edition 12 goal 2023.
Foot golf is a kind of life, and also it's a combination about golf and football.
So I got into sport through social media. Someone approached me on Twitter and said, "Have you tried it?" I'd never heard of it at that point. So I went to my local course and tried it and just completely fell in love with the game.
This is not as easy as it looks on your body. It's a lot of kicking. We don't normally kick this many hard kicks in soccer.
For me, this and the U.S. Open are the 2 top U.S. tournaments. It's something we all look forward to every single year.
great fun, and I think everyone will enjoy it when they try it. You can't not have fun.
When you set goals at the start of the season and you're able to achieve them at the end of the year, I think I can speak for everyone and say when we set goals and we make the sacrifices that we make, which a lot of people don't see, and then it all comes to fruition, it's a good feeling.
I literally live, breathe foot golf.
Welcome back, Dale Schwetz and Jan-Erik Frank, CTB Sports 2023 Limited Edition 12 goal. This is our third game today, our triple header. Windswept with Harrison Reicher playing number 1, Rufino Merlos playing the 2, Tincho Merlos playing the 3, and Santos Merlos playing the number 4. They are a 12-goal team. Dundas in the black jerseys today. Sarah Siegel Magas playing the 1, Mia Cambiaso playing the number 2, Roberto Zeta playing the number 3, and Geronimo Overgon playing the number 4. 3-3 after 1. Jan, what do you think?
Well, after that opening chukker, Dale, incredible pace, incredible field, incredible ponies, and some obviously incredible polo. 3 goals apiece, 2 scored by Dundas. Remember, they got a goal in hand as they came in, as they're coming in off 11 goals. The 3 Merloses all getting on the score sheet, just waiting for Harrison Reicher to score his first goal. And I think, as you said, Dale, this is going to be running and gunning, and we've seen that from the first chukker. So barely 30 or 20, a little over 20 seconds played now in this second chukker and the first whistle. And I've got to say also, it's been very, very fair. We haven't seen any sort of untoward penalties, unnecessary penalties. It's been flowy, it's been open, and above all, it's been extremely fast.
Yeah, no, we've been taking stats, and make sure you stay with us for our stats. That'll happen right after the third chukker and following our sixth chukker. And one of the biggest stats that we've noticed is not that many fouls. We had one game this season that actually had 24 fouls, but it was just a bloodbath. And it was a semifinal game, and otherwise everything's been very clean. Here comes the open goal. And Sarah Siegel Magnus, and looking for goal number 2 from the penalty line. And here you go, Jan, 2 for 3. She's on fire.
Absolutely, Sarah, well done. And again, a confidence boost, especially with that, as you mentioned, injury that she's had or that she's going through. So keeping her head down, staying focused, and on the right track, making it 2 out of 3. And with that, of course, puts her team in the lead by 1. 4 goals to 3. We are at the top of chukker number 2 with a good 6.5 minutes left to play here in chukker number 2. Ball's back in play, and this time it'll be the man with the number 4, one of my favourites. Always like watching him, the 5-goaler, Geronimo Obregon. And that's just as he was about to come out of the starting blocks there. The 2 umpires, the English-Argentine duo with Mr. Matthews and Mr. Ferrari, stopping the action at 6:33.
Yeah, so, we see this a lot in some of these games. We get this open flow and running and gunning game, and both teams, well, one going handicap for Dundas, but 3 goals scored in the first chukker. And remember, we came over, that's why we do apologize here at CTV Sport, that we started a bit tardy based on we had to come from the Santa Rita Polo Farm, and we did have an overtime chukker in our 4 chukker polo, which is our Metropolitan Cup 6-goal polo. And what a game it was. Congratulations, Polo School. But, they were ready to go, both teams. So you might see a bit of a defensive battle here in the second chukker.
Santos Merlos gets things underway after that penalty 5A was given in favour of Windswept. Gets it over the halfway line. The first play needs to get past his Mia Cambiasa. Now in comes a little bit of support from the number 3, Tincho Merlos. He, of course, with a handicap of 7. The highest handicap player out on the field here. Field number 4 at Grand Champions Polo Club. And another whistle stops the action with just shy of 6 minutes left to play in chukker number 2.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to evaluate one of the 4-legged athletes. Now, we did get a call from our mounted officials to our third man / IRO, Steve Lane. The last call was a delay of game call. Remember, if you do slow the game. So now we are going to use a trigger. We are not using the challenge system in our limited edition 12 goal, but what we are using is the triggers. Remember the triggers. Anytime two four-legged athletes come together on a play, they can check the tape. Anytime any two-legged athletes come together on a play, they can check the tape. Anytime a goal is shot at or scored, they can take a look at the tape. Anytime the ball goes out of bounds at the end of the field or on the sides of the field, which would be maybe for a safety or anytime for a possession play, a change of possession, they can check the tape and any unsportsmanlike conduct. Now, what we do at the Grand Champions Polo Club and the Aspen Valley Polo Club, our sister club, and CTV Sports of the World Polo League, is we added the umpire challenge, and that has become something that I believe will become universal. Steve Lane working hard with our professional umpires last year, our international umpires, and that is a challenge where when two umpires disagree on the field, instead of using the third man, who has to look at a play with a naked eye from 100 to 200 yards away, we go to the technology and use the video. So when I say technology and video, I mean the two end zone cams. We can use those angles. We can use the drone, and we can use your center cam. And it was a great, we had great feedback last year from all of the players and the sponsors. And believe it or not, that saved a lot of games and made a lot of higher percentage calls by our mountain officials.
No, I'm sure the technology, but I remember that from last year, Dale, is second to none here. And again, compliments to Mike Ferreira and his team.
Okay, so we do have no foul on the play.
Right.
As the two umpires came in, so we are going to have a fair play bowl in here. So the ball is going to go back to the black team, the Dundas team, and they'll be controlled, and it's going to be Geronimo, and he's got Robertito.
Well, he sends that one under the neck straight up to the boards. Zeda now will pick this one up. He knows he's got a man on. Tincha, of course, hovering there, just staying right with him. So we've got 7 goals against 4 goals. And this is also something which we've seen a lot more in Europe now, Dale. You talk about delay of game. We call it negative play. Oh, nicely picked up here by Geronimo. Obregon needs to keep his stick down. Look at that pony go. Obregon, just a little flick of the wrist. Is it saved? Wow, it's saved. No, but it went over the line already. So Obregon gets a great run and finishes off a superb goal, picking up here the ball more or less on the halfway line. Super done by Geronimo Obregon.
Yeah, he was actually taken out by another player there, and I think miscommunication by the windswept team. I think one of the windswept team thought that he was with Obregon and he might have a 1-meeting-2, but they released off of him. Obregon changes the direction of the line, which we call the quick line change. He lets Ticho clear, which is perfect play, and then off to the races, and a great four-legged athlete there for Obregon, and a super finish by Geronimo, and here he goes again.
Absolutely. Obregon sends this one deep down now. Then can Mia get to it? Or will that ball just run over the back line? First man to the scene of the crime will be Rufino to try and send it back to where it came from. And we're now seeing a few more whistles than I'd anticipated now.
And as I told you, you're going to get a lot of defensive play here and a lot of rubbing and racing. It looked like two players came together there, and almost looked like one player bumped one player into another, which would be a sandwich, but we'll see what they decide on the field. And I think they are going to go with that call. So they're going to bring this one back to the center, as we did have a player getting bumped into another player, 2 players on the black team pressing one of the windswept players in the middle. So it is like a basic sandwich where you see 2 players come together at the same time. But remember, if the opposing team bumps one player from the center into another player, then that is still a sandwich. And you can see that they came together down on there. Anytime you have contact between any of the 4-legged athletes or the 2-legged athletes out there that is uneven, the umpires are going to go ahead and blow the whistle there. They'll talk about it, and if they can't figure that out, they'll go to the cameras, in which they'll go ahead and use all the different angles and the drone to figure out which player created the danger. Looks like it's going to be someone on the Dundas team to create the danger. And this is a big move because that ball was down on the end line, so they're going to move this ball a good 149 yards to the center.
So here we go then, Santos Merlos from the 5B spot. Looks like we've got a big shot coming, and there it is. It is indeed a big shot. First man will be Obregon. Now, he's not just a very good offensive and attacking player, but also a very solid defensive player. And as you can see, he gets really stuck into the action right now. Once again, on the check now as the ball comes to the boards. Obregon up against Merlos. We'll leave that one behind. Yeah, they managed to steal that one. Zeta will now do something with it. Zeta along the boards, but he's going to run into a bit of traffic as well. He's got a Merlos in front, a Merlos behind. And that is why that safety zone is so important. But Obregon, just with a lot of perseverance and hard work, will push his way through. Nice little play here by Geronimo Obregon. In comes the hammer, or at least he tried to. Santos Merlos tried to come and block that next shot from Obregon. Incredible, that pony he's on. Geronimo Obregon, incredibly agile the way it moves. And now Tincho Merlos with plenty of space, just needs to keep his composure. He sent that over to the left a little bit, keeping it but only just in play. He's got pressure in the form of Cambiasso coming in to try and challenge him. A little chip shot there using the 3-iron, if you will, but it just goes out to the left hand side. Maybe should have teed that ball up when he came over the halfway line and taken a little bit of pace out of that run, because it did look very, very fast.
And I'll bring us to our courtesy change. And I kind of thought to be there, yeah, I was thinking of a song. There's a Merlos in the front and a Merlos in behind. You might have something there. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Then you got a Merlos in the front and a Merlos in behind. There's a lot of Merloses out there today. They fly around like bees, man. Let me tell you something, this windswept team. But yeah, as you said it, this is they're going to dodge a bullet here, the Dundas team, with 3:20 on the clock and up by 2 goals, so still have their lead. And because that's a true breakaway by Tincho, it's a little bad luck on the approach shot, but you got to give credit where credit is due, and you got to give credit to Mia Cambiasso applying the pressure to Tincho to not give him the opportunity just to shut that ball down and take it back to the inside. He had to shut it down, and as you said, maybe should have chosen a different direction as he went for the little pop shot to Rufi, the Roofinator we call him. And by the way, Jan, I don't know if you realize it, but Rufi is the youngest person to ever co-commentate on CTV Sports.
Oh, really?
When he was in Aspen. He is amazing, so we always like to give him a shout-out. Back to the action with 3:12 on the clock, and it's going to be Sarah Siegel-Magnus.
And Shanini ran away with it, but she got a hook there from Harrison Reicher, the only man yet to score for Team Windswept. Over on the far side they go once again. Windswept trying to find a little gap. They've done well, and this could be another run here for Merlos. Tincho on the near side tries to send it back onto his stick side, runs into some traffic in the form of Geronimo Obregon. We have a whistle at 2:45.
Yeah, they'll stop the clock. Tincho flying on the offside. But to me, it looked like he hit that ball pretty, about 20 yards, 30 yards. I think he needs to switch sides, but they're going to talk this one over and see what they decide. Maybe he closed the gap. They'll be able to look at it and decide whether that ball goes by Geronimo's boot or not. Remember what they're looking for there. Does the ball pass Geronimo's boot? And if it does, then that gives him an offside play, which means the player from behind, if he's more than 2 horse lengths away, then he needs to switch sides. If he's less than 2 horse lengths away, he does not need to switch sides, and the player that the ball had on his offside needs to pull out and give him a play. So they're going to talk about this one. It's a tricky little play here. So they'll go ahead and look at this one. They're going to go ahead and play it back, and I think they're going to go. The instant replay official already had a look at that. Well done, guys, in the studio there. And it looks like it is going to go against the windswept team. And basically what I was explaining was that Tincho needed to switch to the near side there because the ball did pass Geronimo's boot. Now, and he was too far back, he does not have the right to go to the offside. So that's called riding in from behind, and they'll go ahead and drop this ball. No contact made, so they're not going to move it. They could move this ball if they wanted to. It is a judgmental call, but they decided to go for the spot.
Okay, so here we go then. Once again, Dundas on the move. Trying to find, and he's found someone at the front door in the form of Zeda. Zeda just been beaten to it, but he might get a second chance here. Zeda, what's he going to do now? He's got the pressure on. Into the corner he goes, or they go, I should say. Cambiasso also trying to lend a little bit of a helping hand where she can. She's now got possession of the ball. Rufino sticking very close to Mia Cambiasso. Now his little chip shot trying to outplay the number 4 there. Santos Merlos, and feed the ball back to Obregon. Didn't quite work the way they planned out. And here we go. We've had this exact scenario before. Now on the move, Tincho Merlos has to slam on the brakes. He's got a bit of company in the form of Robertito Zeda. A hook attempt from Cambiasso. Avoiding that, he did well. Tincho looking, turns it around. Little chip shot. Well, no, it's actually a daisy cutter into the danger zone. And once again, it's going to be a tall order to get past that man. Merlos, I beg your pardon, Obregon. Geronimo hammers that ball. He saw in the corner of his eye that Sarah Sigler-Magnus was already facing the right way. Magnus again, slight bouncing ball, a little bit unlucky again, left for Tincho. Tincho takes it over to the boards. Cambiasso coming in straight away to challenge. A lot of traffic right in front of that scoreboard, and a whistle with 1:17 left to play in Chucker number 2.
And I ask you once again, you ain't had a Frank 12-goal polo? Whoa!
No.
Man, they were just flying down the field. Everybody was running as fast as the four-legged athlete could run, and we know they've already clocked them from 30 to 36 miles an hour. But they have been flying around the field, and both teams dialed in so well, coached so well. A little bit more of a scrappy chucker here in the second, but still it's going to go back to Windswept, and a big ball here on the 5A by Merlos.
And under the neck on the near side, nearly very difficult and impossible shot to do at that speed as well. So once again, Windswept putting the pressure on, would like to take this 2-goal cushion into the next chucker and preferably into the next half. Well, they've definitely got Dundas under the cosh here. They need to start scoring 1 or 2 goals. And that ball a little bit short. And again, you see how deep Windswept are standing here in Dundas's half. Don't really want to allow them to get the break, play their game. Now the ball is picked up by the number 2 by Rufino. Rufino couldn't get through. Good defensive play here. Cambiasso would like to see a run with it. Cambiasso, nicely done. Magnus thought she had to go back in defence, and that caught her wrong-footed, of course, because she would have been thrown up and away. I've got to say, these two ladies playing very, very strong indeed. Sarah, of course, having already scored twice. Once again, it's left for Zeda. Robertito Zeda, he's found a gap. We've heard the first siren, so we're down to the last few seconds. And that's another powerful, cracking shot, but it's going to go wide from Geronimo Obregon.
Yes, the Zeda's got his mound in the air over there, but it looked like both umpires in a good spot to look at that play to see where the hook was. So there was a non-call on the play. Geronimo picks the ball up and gets a great shot at goal, pounds it off to the right side, though, so they'll go ahead and finish this chucker, and that's going to make it, a 2-goal difference, 5-3. So we'll go ahead and send them off and get ready. Remember, we will have our stats after the third chucker, and we'll set everybody off to get, some fresh legs underneath them, and we'll be back for the 2023 limited edition 12-goal here on CTV Sports.
World Polo League, a new breed of polo.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. We did have a play at the end of the chukker, and it was a continuation play, so we're going to have our instant replay official. We're going to take a look at this play. We'll play it back. You're going to get to look at it, too. Right here, we got Rotitas Zeta coming in here right now, and we got a player right there, goes for the hook, and it looked like they're trying to see if the hook had hit the horse on the play. So they're going to play it back here one more time. Is if they slow-mo that down, maybe, just as they come together might help. They come together here, and right there is where they had the mallet kind of come from behind. And so, you got to be careful. You got to have, when you're in control of your mallet, 100% of the time on the polo field. So let's break it down for you a little more. So even if you go for a hook and you miss the hook and your mallet was to hit a horse or a player, and of course unintentional, it still is a penalty. So well done, guys, in the studio there, and a great job by our two-mounted officials sending that in to our IRO, Steve Lane. Gives them an opportunity to take a look at that, and there is going to be a penalty on the play. So it'll be called dangerous use of the mallet, as that after he went the hook did follow through. We will get an open goal penalty 3, and it'll be Sarah Siegel Magnus to do the honors for Dundas.
And Sarah Siegel Magnus indeed gets her third penalty, her hat trick. Well done. So 3 out of 4. And that now making that cushion even bigger. 6 goals to 3 in this, the third chukker.
Telling you, man, when you don't get her on the penalty line, she is ice in the veins. I love to say it. She's amazing. I watched her at Snow Polo, and I think you weren't there that year, but she literally saved her team from the penalty line in the snow in Aspen, Colorado during the Snow Polo World Championships.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible. And now the other lady on the field, of course, that is Mia Cambiasso. Getting pushed out of the way there by Tincho Merlos, and he will send that ball out to the left-hand side as Reicher tries to do something with it. Harrison Reicher would like to see the man with the number 1 on his shirt also make it all 4 now. As I said in that first chukker, all 3 Merloses having scored. There was no score, Dale, for anybody in chukker number 2.
No, we didn't.
On Windswept.
On Windswept, yeah, you had 2 unanswered goals there. Yeah, good point there, Jan. And we've seen that a couple times today. But you're right, we had a penalty 2 by Sarah and a beautiful goal by Geronimo Obregon. Now we're going to have a blocking foul, and kind of after the ride-off, more of a reaching foul, reaching in front to pull the ball in front. So you make the clean ride-off. But you got to be careful. Remember, if you want to go ahead and grab that ball after you make a ride-off, you need to turn that player's horse and bend them to the right would be the word to say.
Yeah.
That horse was not bent, and Geronimo Obregon's a hard guy to bend, trust me. So they're going to call it, but nobody going forward, nobody moving, so they're going to leave it from the spot for the 5A.
And that's quickly taken. And very quickly also intercepted once again, Tincho Merlos. Little flick of the wrist there, sends it through, looking for his number 4, Santos Merlos. Cambiasso not able to do much on that play. Once again, it lands at the feet of Tincho. I think they got entangled.
Kind of ducking and diving and bobbing and weaving in there, and then one player looked like they got hung up together here. They still are. Looks like the reins of Tincho Merlos went over the head of Geronimo. So well done by both of the pilots out there. Geronimo and Tincho. Great sportsmanship by both those players to gather themselves and to gather their 4-legged athletes just to calm them a bit. They can get stuck there. As it does happen sometimes, they come together. And it will happen with the mallet also in the game of polo. A player's mallet might get hooked up on another player. Sometimes I've seen, Jan, where sometimes the tack get hooked up and pull a bridle off a horse.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so.
It's I've seen that as well. I've also seen a saddle just completely, because the girth was, the overgrowth wasn't tight. The whole saddle and the player came off. I mean,
sometimes it happens, yeah. So Tincho's going to go ahead and dismount here, and he is allowed to fix the tack on the field. is a tech timeout, or he can ride down and change that mount. But with 4:54 on the clock, to be precise, I'm pretty sure Tincho wants to stay on top of this black mare. And, based on the courtesy change not being used yet, and a great sportsmanship there once again by Geronimo Obregon, and also great just between both the guys to stay very calm with adrenaline pumping in a game like this, 6-3, and to be able to calm themselves. And there will be a penalty against the Dundas team, though, as Tincho had control turning the ball to the left. Now, you are allowed to turn the ball left by the rules, and you cannot ride a player off 90 degrees when he does that. That's how the actual reins got over the top of Geronimo's horse's head. And in that case, they'll get a open goal penalty out of this. And this is interesting. Rufy usually takes the open goals, but I guess he's going to pass the stick to his dad on this one. So they do switch it up, the Merloses. It all depends on, I guess, what horse they're riding or how they feel at the moment. And here comes Tincho Merlos.
And Tincho getting his second and a much important and a much needed goal here in Chukka number 3. So 1 goals apiece. The overall scoreline, of course, still 6-4 in favour of Dundas. 3 minutes left on. Oh, beg your pardon. It was a penalty 3. So I was going to. That's all right. So that was goal number 2 by Tincho Merlos in the third Chukka. And as you can see on the scoreboard, still plenty of time left here in Chukka number 3. Remember, we will have the stats breakdown coming to you in the halftime break, so don't go anywhere before we go into the little break before they come back for the second half. Geronimo Obregon trying to send that ball up to Mia Cambiasso. Didn't quite get through to the recipient. And that will mean a new chance for Windswept to start a new counter-offensive, or will they? Not able to control the ball very quickly. And Obregon, he doesn't waste any time now. Obregon, I mean, it was a open-shut case from where I was sitting, Dale. I'm sure you would have seen it the same way. He was on that straight highway to the goal. Player came across. You couldn't get more of a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, still a lot of ducking and diving, bobbing and weaving, racing and rubbing. Man, they are going at it, boy. This is going to be a tough second half. You don't want to stay in tune for this one here on CTV Sports. But let's give love to the gray mare that Geronimo Obregon's riding here, because Geronimo actually hit a 90-degree neck shot and then got back on that right-of-way, which you're talking about, Yan, and was 100% on the right-of-way. Remember, you need to be 100% on the line to get that call, and Sarah Siegel Magnus will get her fifth attempt at the open goal.
And there it is, 4 out of 5, so she must be very happy, and I'm sure the team are as well, restoring that 3-goal advantage. And as I say, goal number 4 out of 5, her second here in Chukka number 3, 7-4 with 4.5 left on the clock.
Yeah, I love about her, Yan, and we talked about it. She went ahead and missed the first one, but then she just jumps right back up there. Doesn't even phase her. Boom, 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 boom. Right back in there.
Indeed. So back to the centre they go. Ball's about to be thrown in. And let's see who's going to pick it up first. Looks like once again, well, he nearly got away with it, but it's Cambiasso waiting for that ball to come back to her. But it'll be windswept. Nice little turn here by Rufino. And he saw out on the right-hand side Santos Merlos. The ball just going a bit too far out to the left, and that'll be a chance for Zeda. Robertita Zeda to maybe do something with it. Nice little look on Cambiasso. Ball comes out. And it'll be left once again for Robertito Zeda. He gets a piece of that. He's found Obregon. And once Geronimo Obregon gets... or opens up that pony, you can see once again here, he is a danger now. Then Sarah Siegel Magnus, will she score her first goal out of regular play? A cut shot or a little backhand? What's she going to go? She went for the backhand. Maybe should have played the cut shot. I know it was a difficult angle. But now Windswept have it once again. And over on the far side, Rufino. Beg your pardon, Harrison Reicher. A very similar looking helmet, I thought. Not able to run with that one. Dundas coming back very quick in defence. Well, once again, Dale, what you were saying just a few moments ago.
Yeah, they come together here and they're running and gunning. Reicher on the move there, and then it looked like Robertito turned that ball back to the inside. And I don't know if they went with a late whistle here or not. It looked like he got cross-hooked when he made the turn. And then they go for another play. He gets blocked right there. So a couple different plays there. And then a slow whistle, which, Steve Lane and, myself also, we both are big fans of the late whistle or the slow whistle. And the reason why in the game of polo, because some plays developed, that way. And also playing the advantage in the game of polo can be very helpful, and it can also hurt sometimes. So you need to understand how to play the slow whistle or the late whistle. So when we work with our professional umpire group, and Steve will manage our group, and so we all stay very consistent on using the slow whistle or late whistle. All the players in the world, all the best players in the world and sponsors, they will agree to that. They'll applaud that, Jan. And right now, though, it's just been this 2 or 3 goal lead that the Dundas team has done a great job on holding on to. 2:55 to be precise. Third chucker action. Everybody on fresh legs here. And so this should be a fast and furious 2:55 to end our first half. And wow. 12-goal polo-wise, I'm going to say it again. It seemed more like a 20-goal game, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, this has been one of the fastest 12-goal games we've had. We love the 12-goal league. I talk a lot about it, Steve and I know last year, Jan, when you were here with us, we were talking about how much we loved it because you get to see these young players like Reicher and Mia Cambiaso and Rufy, all 2 and 1, 2, 3 goal players or 0 to 3 goal players, raise their level. And then also you get to see these 4 and 5 goal players try to make it to that 6 and 7. So it's amazing to watch.
So here we go then, as you said, 2:55, quickly taken from the centre in favour of Dundas. Geronimo Obregon sends it out to the left-hand side, looking to feed the ball to Mia Cambiaso, but she's got a bit of company in the form of Rufino Merlos. And
well, they come together right after the penalty 5, and you want to have a positive possession here, but it looks like it's going to go in favor of the windswept team as one player looked like he came across in front of Santos Merlos here on a right-of-way violation. So it's going to flip over. So now the 5 from center, the 5B is going to turn into a 5A, and here come Dundas. Is Dundas going to work this one down? Geronimo Obregon wins the ride-off with Harrison, drags it into the corner. Nobody around here. So Dundas is going to go ahead and pick it up and work it back now. Turn the defense into offense. Look at this pretty ball by Geronimo.
And that's going to be picked up by Santos. Santos just putting a stop to that play. In comes Tincho once again with the number 3. Tincho Merlos stops, turns, has a little look up. You can see Harrison Reicher making a move. Harrison Reicher opening up that pony very nicely. Reicher, he's got a man on, tries to correct himself by taking it on the near side, but the pressure from Obregon just a little bit too much as he will turn things around. Magnus on the move, Cambiaso on the move, as Obregon gets quite a bit of yardage, wins quite a bit of space here. Nicely done. Passes it over to Zeda. Zeda now. He's got 2 ladies to choose from, but they're getting pushed over onto the boards, and that ball will go over the sideboard. So we will have, of course, a change of possession.
Change of possession, and that possession could be a big one here. Down by 3 goals. Let's see if Windswept can get a positive possession as we click down to 1:15.
So a little over a minute left to play. And I'm sure Windswept would love to pick up at least one more goal if they can going into the halftime break. Be very interesting myself to see what the stats actually tell us after.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to these stats also because this game has been rocking and rolling early, Jan, so it's going to be interesting to see how they work out.
So down to the last 50 seconds left to play here in the first half. Can Dundas hold on to that 3-goal cushion? 7 goals to 4 is the way they play at the moment. Windswept will, I'm sure, have a little team talk and the pony lines to slightly change one or two of their strategies in this limited edition 12 goal 2023. The first horn is gone, and Dundas will try, if they can, steal another goal. That ball will go over the back line, and that will be it for the first half. So, 4 goals in total, courtesy of Sarah Siegel-Magnus, 4 out of 5. That's a pretty good average. And as I say, the Merlos has started very strong in Chukka 1, all 3 of them scoring. But there was no score in the Chukka in the second Chukka, and it was Tincho who scored in the third. But now over to you, Del, with the exact stats of that first half.
Well, thank you, Jan. And 7-4, of course, we know our score. Well, here you go. Pretty close on the shots, based on 7-4. 9 shots taken by the Dundas team and 7 shots taken by Windswept. So not that much of a difference there. On the knock-ins, though, 3 and 2. So again, not that much of a difference there. 3 knock-ins taken by the Dundas team. So Windswept missing the goal one more time. Then the Dundas team is two knock-ins taken by Windswept. On the Bolins, 5 Bolins won by Dundas, 6 won by Windswept. So very close there. On the fouls committed, though, and this is what Steve and Yan are going to be wanting to know, 10 fouls committed by the Windswept team, only 6 fouls committed by Dundas. So 4 more fouls, and those fouls are huge because penalties scored, 5 were scored, and of course Sarah Siegel-Magnus scoring 4 for the 2s and the 3s, and then a 60-yard shot made by Zeta, and then only 1 made by the Windswept team, and that was an open goal penalty of 3. So that's a big difference right there. They need to clean those penalties up. They'll talk about it at halftime. That's what they usually do. They have a lot of knowledgeable coaches sitting down there. So stay with us. We're going to have a little bit of a halftime break, and we'll be back here for the 2023 limited edition 12 goal.
As far as barns go, it's 10 points. The weather, scenic views are unbelievable. To be up here in the mountains in this weather, I don't think you have many choices nicer than this.
I feel like we have some really competitive polo up here. It's friendly competitive polo.
The place is amazing. Good polo fields, good players, good courses, so it's a good experience. It's really good.
Club, they have empanadas there, they have Argentine style barbecue.
I'm in love with this place. The club is really nice, the people is really good.
At least what I can see is that it's an amazing place to be playing polo with the family and with good friends, enjoying, and the weather is great. I can't complain at all.
There's so much to do up here, and people are great, and there's some of the best polo in the country up there.
I think this is the place to play polo in the summer.
It's as good as it gets for summer polo. goal.
And as soon as our child is old enough, she's going to be in their polo school.
You just want to be a horse in that barn.
Welcome back to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Jan Eric Frank, and we're live from the Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 4 this afternoon for the 2023 limited edition 12 goal. And this has been a fast and furious game here, windswept, with Harrison Reicher playing number 1, Rufino Merlos playing the number 2, Tincho Merlos playing the 3, and Santos Merlos playing the number 4. And as I said, Tincho, the father of Rufino, and Santos is his nephew. And Dundas playing with Sarah Siegel Magnus playing number 1, Mia Cambiaso playing the 2, Roberto Zeta playing number 3, and Geronimo Obregon playing the number 4. A 12-goal team against an 11-goal team. Dundas on 11 goals, received 1 goal on handicap. They scored 2 goals at the beginning, and the only really thing they had that went wrong was really Sarah just missed her first penalty, but then was flawless the rest of the time, as she was 4 for 5. So great shooting by Sarah Siegel Magnus. And the windswept team came out and scored 3 goals right away to make it 3-3 after the first chukker. But then the Sarah scored a penalty 2, and Geronimo scored from the field to make it 5-3 because they had 2 unanswered goals. No goals scored by windswept in that chukker. Then only 1 goal scored by windswept in the third chukker. 2 more open goal penalties, ice in her veins, Sarah Siegel Magnus, to make it 7-4 here, Jan. And, well, I hate to say it, 10 penalties committed by the windswept team, and that's what hurt them, because 5 of them have been open goals, or 6 of them have been goal shot penalties. 5 open goals. Sarah's made 4 out of 5, yep. And Zeta made a penalty 4, so that's the one thing that's hurting them.
Absolutely, and I'm sure they'll have taken the time in this halftime break to evaluate, discuss, and obviously adjust where they need to, the way they're going to play in the second half. But as you said, Dale, those stats, of course, the figures don't lie. 10-6 in the form of fouls, and then of course Sarah Siegel Magnus being very, very, very clinical, scoring 4 out of 5, and that, as you said, is where that deficit comes from. So just waiting for the players who are slowly but surely making their way back out on the field. Hope you're enjoying the afternoon here on CTV Sports. As Dale was saying, we're coming from an absolutely perfect conditioned field number 4 at Grand Champions Polo Club. And we still have another 3 chukkers ahead. And what a great day this has been, a triple header, 2 6-goal matches, and now this limited edition 12-goal. And Dale, tomorrow the action continues with even higher level.
And I got to say, how do you feel? Do you feel good being back in Southern Florida?
I feel great.
Yeah,
I feel great.
Frank,
Yeah, we had a bit of rain the first few days. I thought that's a bit unusual, but you said, I've been hearing that the weather has been absolutely fantastic. Yes, and I'm delighted to be back, and thank you once again, everybody here, for having me.
Yeah, so they're finishing up the final touch-ups on the field. We want to thank everyone to help us with our divot sound. Remember, polo, the only professional sport in the world that allows their fans on the field at halftime. And here we go, 3-goal difference. Dundas in the black, windswept in the maroon, and away we go, Geronimo.
Obregon looking for a little pass through the centre. He's got the number 3, Zeda and Cambiaso, both in the danger zone, but it was cleared by a windswept. Cambiaso trying, if she can, steal that ball back. Player with the number 3, Tincho Merlos, needing a little bit of help. In comes Santos to lend him a helping hand, but it's going to be left once again for Zeda. And that's a good touch from Cambiaso. She was trying to take that one and run it all the way through. Got a little bit unlucky. Powerful drive now then. Can Harrison Reicher outrun Sarah Siegel Magnus? Well, he's got the faster pony, but he needs to take the ball with him. Slightly top that one. Second chance, Reicher to get his first goal of the game, and there it is. Harrison Reicher gets the first score in the second half.
Yeah, and this is a huge play for the windswept team because Harrison had not been really involved. He'd been playing defense the whole first half. Now you have him out in front and a little bit of tough shot on the approach shot. He hit a little bit of a lob wedge, but great riding by young Harrison Reicher. He slows his pony down, takes it out of the air, finishes it off, gets his team within 2 goals.
Good. I'm sure you'll be very happy with that. So that makes all 4 players now on the score sheet, as is already. No, beg your pardon. We're still waiting for Mia Cambiasso to score in Dundas, but everybody on windswept now on the score sheet as we go back to Tincho Merlos. He's on the boards, trying to find a little bit of space for himself, allowing his the rest of his teams to get back in situ. There's a little lofted shot looking for Ruffino. Ruffino might go for the under the neck shot. He's got to be careful. Plenty of Dundas defenders coming in straight away. There is what I was hoping would come a little bit earlier from Santos Merlos, and under the neck shot. As once again, Geronimo Obregon will leave this one behind. Dundas now getting a lot of pressure. Well, you can see that halftime team talk is definitely already showing dividends there as Santos Merlos came in for the challenge, and we have a whistle at 5:04.
Yeah, and I like this again, now getting Ruffino in the game. So early on, and we've watched this windswept team play, they've used Harrison and Ruffino up in front. They were pulling the team. But in the beginning here, it was Tincho and Santos trying to break through, trying to muscle their way through. And this is a very strong Dundas team. They play very well. They're coached very well. They're mounted to the tees. You cannot just barrel your way through this team. You need to use everybody. They're using the 2 young guns. Ruffino on 1 goal, Harrison an A-rated player. They have been pulling the team, and it's given opportunities for Santos and Tincho. And look at this, they're going to get a shot at their, first open goal of the day.
And stepping up to the plate will be Tincho, and Tincho will, of course, not make a mistake there. So Tincho Merlos getting his 3rd goal of the game, and by doing so, closing in on the 7-goal advantage. Just 1 goal in it now, 6-7 or 7-6, depending who you support in this first chucker of the second half of the limited edition 12.
Yeah, and I apologize. Actually, their 2nd open goal of the day, but only 2. So great job by Dundas to not give up as many penalty open goal shots here. But they are in control here. They got momentum, down by 1.
Now then, let's see if Geronimo, if he can put a dent into the scoreline. Geronimo. Tincho just getting out of the way. A little flick shot there, looking for Mia Cambiasso. She'll pick this one, or at least she'll try, and she did well to pick it up on the near side. But straight away in comes Santos. Santos Merlos coming in for the challenge. Not much to go before that ball would have been over the back line. Oh, he's weaving his way through very nicely here. So, windswept now, very focused. And I think it's fair to say, Dale, that they are now starting to very much play their game. Obregon trying to intercept, and he's stopped at 3:56.
Yeah, sticky little play here with 3:56 on the clock, so I'm sure our umpires will ride together here because it looked like there are players just passing each other, but we'll be able to get a look at this on the replay. And as they come together there, it looks like Santos with the ball first. He slows it down, then he goes to go forward with it, and as they come together, then right there, oh, and it looks like we got players on the near side there. So we had players coming together and meeting, and it's going to go against the Dundas team. Against the windswept team. And this because they were on the near side. Remember, there's no right-of-way on the near side, only in the arena. And remember, in the arena, when you are established on the wall in the arena, may you stay on the near side. So you can't just drive, right around the arena on the near side. You need to establish yourself first of all. So this one's going to go, they're at the 60-yard line where that penalty was committed. So you are going to get an open goal penalty 2, and we know who it is going to be, the lady in the blue helmet.
Absolutely. Sarah Siegel Magnus. And again, no mistake. Sarah Siegel-Magnus picking up goal number 5. So it's 5 out of 6 again. Just the one, that very first one that she didn't convert, but I think a solid performance here by one of the two ladies by Dundas.
So the umpires will call intimidation on that play. As you can see, as they came together, we had players pulling out of the play. So intimidating another player that was not on the right of way or on the wrong side. So intimidation is the call, and another great shot by Sarah.
Ball's back in play, picked up by Obregon. Obregon stops, turns, has a little look. He's got a bit of traffic there. The umpire just telling the player, Tincho, to clear the way, to allow play to continue. We don't want to encourage negative play, or as you would call it, delay of game. And I've got to say also, Dale, I think the two umpires are doing a solid job here, as they always do. And that's, of course, something else which is, very much a signature for Grand Champions Polo Club, having some of the finest and best umpires in the business.
Yeah, very consistent. A great international team of umpires. We have players from all over the world, Argentina, Great Britain, and the U.S., and consistency is what it's all about, and doing a great job here. And here they come together, and right across the center, and that's going to follow. So 3 fouls in a row, and 2 of these fouls being committed by the Dundas team. So now, as we see a lot, shoes on the other foot. It was the windswept team who had committed a few more fouls, or 4 more fouls in the first half than the Dundas team. Now, in this fourth chukker, the windswept team getting the opportunity to not just get penalties, but get goal shot penalties. Remember, the 5A, the 5B, they don't hurt as much. They give you possession, and possessions are big to have possessions, especially that's why we talk about using the knock-in, the penalty 5A, the penalty 5B, and trying to get positive possessions out of them, because you will receive probably more knock-ins and penalty 5As and Bs than open goals. And you hope for open goal penalty shots, goal shot penalties, which would be the 30-yard penalty 2, the 40-yard penalty 3, or the 60-yard penalty 4. And in this case here, Windswept is having opportunities now at their second goal shot penalty, their first an open goal penalty 2, and now an opportunity at a 60-yard shot. And Tincho has been taking the open goals today, as Ruffino missed his first one. And I think, as I said, that was the first goal shot penalty that Ruffino has missed all season. So, but they will switch it. They will pass the stick, as we say. And being family members, I'm sure they all practice and they all can hit here. Even Santos, if they need to pass the stick to Santos. So we'll see who they choose.
Indeed, we will. So, Dale, is this down to Dundas getting complacent, or is it Windswept just getting stronger? Because, as you rightly said, it's sort of a change now in the number of fouls that are being committed here by Windswept versus what Dundas didn't do in the first half. Play is called, and let's see.
Looks like Tincho.
Looks like it is indeed Tincho Molos with this penalty 4. Well, he's got it airborne, that's for sure, but is it straight? No, it just went out to the left-hand side. Maybe the wind just getting the better of that ball. So Dundas definitely dodging a bullet, still holding on to that 2-goal advantage. 8 goals to 6. If you've just joined us, we're in the 4th of our 6 chukkers of this limited edition 12-goal, coming to you, of course, live on CTV Sports here at Grand Champions Polo Club Field number 4.
They dodge a bullet there, and that's a big bullet to dodge. Tincho's been solid on his 60-yard shot, but now it'll be Dundas in control. And on the far side, they come together. Looks like Geronimo and Zeta working together, looking for one of the ladies downfield, either Mia or Sarah, and picked up now by Santos.
Santos Molos looking for a way to turn that ball around. He's having a little look up. He's got Rufino just sort of waiting in that danger zone. There's he under the next shot to try and clear it. Now then, Cambiasso stops, takes a little bit of the pace out of the play, wanted to tee herself up nicely. This is a good run. That's a good pass to Zeda. It's going to be a little bit too short for Sarah Siegel-Magnus. Straight away, Tincho will try and steal it back. He does so. Wants to avoid the challenge coming in from Zeta, who actually comes out on top, winning. A little bit of luck there. Rufino looking for and finding Santos. And he's just got to get past the big guy, that is Geronimo Obregon. Once again, they go up. This time, Rufino looking to try and be the recipient of that play. The ball never came. But Windswept still have it. Tincho. Santos passed the ball over to Tincho. Tincho now will have a crack at this from a good 65 yards out, and he scores. What a cracking goal. Tincho Merlos getting goal number 4.
Yeah, that's just good teamwork, good communication by the Merlos crew. It starts out actually with Rufy right around the center mark here. He finds Santos on the quick release, and almost his dad was telling him to hold it, but he saw Santos by himself. Santos very composed. He has grown so much, this young player. He waits, he sees that Tincho is there, leaves it for Tincho. Tincho takes his time, and a great shot from about 75 yards.
So a little over 30 seconds left to play. 8 goals to 7, 1 goal in it. A hook there, nicely done by Rufino against Zeta. Not able to finish and follow through. There is that first horn. 30 seconds left to play as he stops and turns. Once again, Obregon. Now, he is also somebody you can hit from a good anywhere between 80 to 100 yards out, but he wants to try and walk this one in. He's running out of time. In comes Zeta from the second row. Too much traffic in front of that goal mouth, and they will try and just clear it now, get it away as far as they can. Santos just been beaten there by Obregon, but he got lucky, the deflection. Santos, just as he was about to send that one down the field, the second horn came. So 1 goal in it, 8 goals to 7. But if we look at that chucker independently, chucker number 4, Windswept coming out of that halftime break, leading, or what they scored 3 goals to 1. So that halftime break definitely did the team the world of good. Dundas still holding on to that lead, but only by 1. Remember, it was 7 goals to 4 at half-time. It is now 8 goals to 7. So I'm sure a lot more thrilling and exciting polo right here on CTV Sports. When we come back, stay tuned.
There's something about when you get up early, prep the plane, and you take off, and you get that first light of day. And the air is crystal smooth. You can see forever. You have to have the right aircraft for the right flight with the right crew up front. Only NetJets can do this. The flight dissolves into the background. It should just be the here and now.
All right, so fifth chucker on its way, 8-7, and as Jan was explaining, at the end of the fourth, you got to give that chucker up to Windswept as they came out of their tent. They came out with a great game plan, and they came out mounted up very well. But I just like the way they I think they just changed the game plan up a little bit, Jan, if you ask me, because they brought Harrison and they brought Rufino into the game a little more, and it's like using the run in American football. It opens up the pass. And so when you can do those type of things, and Polo use the number 1, number 2, it'll open up holes for the 3 and 4, and Tincho and Santos did a great job capitalized on that. Let's see how Dundas reacts.
Here we go then. They continued action where, of course, play ended at the end of that previous chukker, and this man working very, very hard once again, Geronimo Obregon, but they know of the danger of Geronimo. Now it's going to be Santos Merlos. Cambiasso. Not much you can do on that play.
Great sportsmanship there is out of the camera frame there. Yeah, not to interrupt you. Tincho lost his mallet, and Geronimo Obregon coming over number 4 to help him pick his mallet up while play continued downfield.
Yeah, well, he is, like I said, he's one of my favorites, and he is a gentleman both on and off the field, so I'm not surprised, but you're right to highlight that, because sportsmanship, of course, especially in a passionate game like this, is always very...
heavy, big energy game. You got it. Adrenaline pumping.
So we have a whistle stopping the clock at just shy of 7 minutes, 6:59 to be precise. We're in the 5th chukker if you've just joined us. A very warm welcome and a good afternoon. Conditions could not be better here at Grand Champions Polo Club Field number 4. And Dale, every time I look over to the far side, those WPL flags, it does make my heart skip a beat, looking forward to the 5th season now of the World Polo League.
And I got a feeling that the season's going to be like they are flying. Nice and smooth with the wind blowing. And look at this, on their way, and you said it. Santos Merlos, he scored in the 1st. Now he'll pick up his 2nd goal in the 5th. But once again, Windswept firing on all cylinders here in the 2nd half.
So it's taken them, a good 4 chukkers and a little over half a minute to get the equaliser. 8 goals apiece now here in chukker number 5. Dundas now need to make sure they don't loosen the grip too much here. All that hard work, all those great conversions there by Sarah Siegel-Magnus. Here we go, back to the centre they come. The ball's thrown in play, and I think, as is always the case, especially at this level or stage of the game, winning those oh-so-important throw-ins can and will make all the difference. A first touch there by Zeda. Zeda immediately has Tincho round for tea, wanting to try and challenge him for that ball. He gets caught up. Obregon coming in as well. The umpire right on top of that play. Again, that was one of the situations where they allowed that play to just develop before they then actually resorted to blowing the whistle.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that Steve Lane actually added to the CTV handbook of verbiage that we use for polo. Instead of using a blanket, you could throw a washcloth all over everybody, because they're so close together. And it was one of those plays where everybody was just in a group so close, who's right, who's wrong. But Esteban Ferrari in a perfect position there to read that play and find out which player was creating the danger. And so they go ahead, and they do get a sandwich again. So this is the 2nd or 3rd sandwich that we've seen today. And it is around lunchtime, so, maybe it's that type of game. But you don't see that many sandwiches. A lot of different ones. We saw a couple where they were moving. Yeah. We saw a player get bumped from a distance into another. Now, where we have 4 or 5 players just gathering together and locking one player in. So that's where you get the sandwich called. And so with 5:43 on the clock, Tincho's going to get another opportunity at the 60-yard mark.
And, of course, if he converts now, he would put his team in the lead for the first time in this game. And no sooner had those words left my lips, he does exactly that. So well done indeed. Tincho Merlos picking up goal number 5. And with that goal, puts his team, as I just said, into the lead by 9 goals to 8. So Dundas now a little bit under pressure.
3 from the penalty line there, Jan, and 2, a 3, and a 4. So that is positive for the windswept team here, especially in the 5th and 6th chukker.
Ball's back in play. Dundas need to ideally win those throw-ins, but once again it's gone in favour of windswept as they try and advance down into Dundas territory. Obregon just making up his mind who to play it to and where to play it to. He saw Zeda create a bit of space for himself. Yeah, Zeda unlucky there, not being able to pick that one up. Once again, Santos stops and turns about 20 yards out from the halfway line. He's got a man in front of him. Obregon needs to clear the way. There's that rocket up to the front door, possibly looking for Harrison Reicher. But Sarah Siegel, as you can see, Dale, not just very good in scoring goals, but also a force to be reckoned with when it comes to defence. Now picked up deep in their own half, but surrounded by red shirts. Yeah, not able to come out of their own half, and another whistle will stop the clock at 4:13.
And now seeing a change in the Dundas defense. As we've noticed, this is the first time that we've seen Sarah Siegel Magnus actually rotating back to the number 4 position, because she was there to make the back shot when Harrison Reicher was on the breakaway. She didn't convert the back shot, but she did give her team time to get in there and make a hook on Harrison. So good communication here by Dundas and good rotation by the Dundas team here in the second half.
So the consequence of that foul is a hit from the spot, from the centre, beg your pardon, in favour of Dundas. And as I say, if there's a man who can score from there, there's not many that can. I would definitely...
Kind of hitting into the wind here. Might be against him a little bit here, yeah, but you're right. He can hit the ball that far.
He's going to tap it in, get a little bit closer. Yeah, he probably saw exactly. We probably heard you, Dale. The wind, of course, a bit of a factor here. Looking once again to send it up to Zeda, but intercepted by Teen Cho. In comes Zeda once again for the challenge. Left behind now for Santos. He is going to try and run with it if he can. As you can see, Rafita trying to clear the way to allow him to do what he does, which initially is get the ball now over the halfway line. Cambiasso not able to get the backhand shot. Left behind once again. And a whistle on that play with a little over 3.5 left in chucker number 4. 5, beg your pardon.
So great play here by Mia Cambiasso, and that's just a very strong four-legged athlete, and she is quick, man. When it comes to riding, you can see how she got so much out of that four-legged athlete to make that little ride-off. That made a stalemate play, and then the Windsor team gets caught on the turn, so they'll drop this ball from the spot, and the control will be here for Obregon with 3:35 on the clock.
Nice long ball up in the air, over to the right-hand side, trying to feed it to Zeda. Zeda got a piece of it, but he straight away has Tincho on his hip. Obregon coming in to lend him a helping hand. Obregon, and there's even only so much even an Obregon can do. He wants to get into a position where he can open that shoulder, that right shoulder, and take a shot on goal, a distant shot. Well, Dundas understand now they're trailing by 1. They need to come up with something. They need to do it quickly. Again, Zeda not being able to find that little gap, and this could be, could be the counter-offensive, but they're stopped in their tracks with a whistle with just shy of 3 minutes left to play.
Yeah, so they come to a stalemate play over on the far side, you said, and looking to try to get something going on the offensive attack. And here on the replay, you see right here, Zeda takes it forward, then he drops in between. Found the second man, looks like. A little bit here. And the drone footage, perfect there. Remember, when one player is taking the ball forward and there's a defending player, if there's another player on the offensive attack, and in this case on Dundas, so you had Zeda going forward to number 3, you had Obregon to number 4, and they were in a perfect spot where nobody could go in between them because of that 2 horse length distance. And so the windswept team is going to get called on fouling the second man. And this is going to be a big play because it's going to be right before the Kersey change, or during the Kersey change, 2:58 to be precise on the clock, just outside the 60. So they're going to bring it in for an open goal. It looks like an open goal penalty number 2 or 3. It looks like we are going to get a 3. I believe we'll check on that just to make sure. Yeah, it looks like a 3. Sarah Siegel Magnus has been phenomenal. on her 2s and 3s, and she'll step up once again. Here comes Sarah.
And that looks like it. Oh, it just ran out of steam there. I was going to say I would have liked to have seen her get the full half dozen, but it just ran out of steam. And it was a penalty, too, indeed. So
yeah, it looked like, to me, she was a little close to the ball there. It looked like it wasn't her full swing that she takes. Almost looked like the four-legged athlete got a little bit too close to the ball there, because usually when you see Sarah hit her ball, she has a great follow-through, and it's almost like she had to dig that one out. So she lost the power, as you said, Jan. And so that's going to be, well, both teams have dodged a bullet here in the second half.
Absolutely, but it's still 9-8 in favour of Windswept, who now have possession. And everything, of course, running via that man, Tincho Merlos. He's left it behind. He knew he had a man behind, but Obregon, he read it well. Stops and turns. And he's pointed to the spot, convinced it's going to go his way.
Man, looks like, well, getting into it a little bit here. A little energy going back and forth after the courtesy change. As 2:32 on the clock now, 1 goal difference. And so they're going to peek at this one as both teams now looking for any kind of seam you can see are opening to try to score. As, you know, you only have so many plays in a handbook, yeah. And so when you have two teams like this that are so well coached, well schooled, talented, mounted, competitive, you get into these points. Now, it's almost just like any kind of bad break will help. You try to capitalize on a broken play, as we say, and we'll see if that happens. And in this case, it's going to go in favor of Dundas, and they'll go back to the penalty line. This time, it will be a penalty 3.
So, big chance here to get the equaliser. Now then, will Sarah try and do this one, or will she leave it to one of her boys? I think, this time it's going to be left for Geronimo Obregon.
So she passes the stick on this one, which I think, good, smart choice here.
Very.
Wasn't comfortable on this. She's still on the same horse. Let pass the stick over to Geronimo.
And Obregon will send that halfway into next week. So well done, Geronimo Obregon, picking up only his second, believe it or not, Dale. But with that very crucial second goal, we now have an even Steven scoreline, 9 goals apiece with a little over 2 minutes left to play here in the penultimate 15.
Yeah, good communication, good teamwork here by Dundas, passing the stick around, as we talked about the Windswept team doing the same thing. Great teams do that. You need to have the ability to pass the stick. If you're not feeling well, one of the four-legged athletes isn't working out, pass the stick to the other player.
Here we go, ball's back in play. Who's going to be the first team to go into double figures? Geronimo hammers that ball down, looking for Zeda. Up there also is Mia Cambiasso. Zeda coming back, beg your pardon. Geronimo coming back to keep the pressure on. And Windswept, not wasting any time. Tincho Merlos not able to get to that one in time. Mia Cambiasso slams on the brakes. Takes it round the outside. Swing and an elegant miss for Mia. And that, of course, is an advantage once again here. Well, with the number 2, Rafina couldn't do much with it. Cambiasso, again, more or less in the same position she was just a few seconds ago. And now possibly here for Santos. Santos, quite a bit of a gap there. Santos, Merlos for Windswept. Like he's taken the dog for a walk. Cracking goal here. Goal number 3 for Santos. And that puts his team into double figures. They lead by 10 goals to 9.
Yeah, Santos on the big gray pony, and this pony can fly, and he gets out in front here. Santos, you see his shoulders come down, his head follows, and when this kid runs a goal, he's as good as they get, and that is a solid goal, and I believe this is going to be the first chucker that the Windswept team, they still might get a bowl in here. The clock goes tick, tick, tick. No, they won't, so this will be the first chucker that the Windswept team is going to head to the tent to get on fresh legs ahead. So 10-9 after 5 chuckers. You don't want to miss his 6th and final chucker. We're live on CTV Sports.
I am Nick Weaver. I am the co-founder and COO of Blue Delta Gene Co. I've probably measured over 30,000 butts, 7 feet tall and 7 feet wide. Doesn't matter. It is fun making people happy. When you make a garment that fits, that's one thing. When you make a garment fit and look good, that's another thing. And we are very good at the latter. We have grown our company by taking care of people. We have grown by making jeans that fit. There are some things that will never change. Where it's made, how it's made, and who's making them. Every jean is one of one. But now we can get you measured from anywhere in the world. We have rolled out a virtual tailor system. Blown away with the technology. It's unbelievable how accurate it is. It's a quick, easy, touchless way so we can get the measurements to make you a pair of damn good jeans.
All right, well, here we go. Dale Schwetz, Jan Eddick Frank, CTV Sports, 6-chucker action. This has been a phenomenal 12-goal game. Dundas in the black jerseys, windswept in the maroon jerseys. Anybody's game at this point. Jan, I'm just telling you, flip a coin because it's all going to be on just broken plays and just missed errors because everybody played phenomenal polo.
Absolutely. Now, compliments to both teams. And just that one goal in. But as you rightly said, Dale, chucker number 5 ended for the first time with Windswept taking the lead. And they were heading that way ever since they came out of the halftime break. But now let's see if Harrison Reicher can put another dent into that scoreline. Reicher. Little cut shot. Oh, he got a piece of it. Slight deflection. Obregon is there to immediately pick up the pieces. Dundas still in possession. Just changing things around a little bit now. Up at the front, of course, the two young ladies, Sarah Siegel-Magnus. In comes Zeda. Zeda. Left that one behind for Cambiasso. Merlos once again. He's seen Richter on his own. And that's a good little run. That could be goal number 2 for Harrison Reicher. Harrison Reicher with the finishing touch, trying to keep that ball in play. He did ever so well. But I think the goal judge, as you can see there, just indicating the ball had already crossed the back line. And, of course, for that young player, Harrison Reicher, picking up on confidence. Remember, he scored a cracking goal in chucker number 4. Would have been nice to have seen him score another one here in the 6th and final chucker.
Yeah, bad luck there. He had about 40 yards on everybody, so that he'll learn, though. He's a young player. He's an A-rated player. And we actually saw Harrison play his first game this season in the PTF. And that was a lot of fun. Steve and I and the CTV Sports crew, we did broadcast the Polo Training Foundation. And we're all about the Polo Training Foundation, and Melissa Gansey being the chairman. And so here we go. We got one player off, I believe, changing horses or mallets. I think are they back? Is he back? Yeah, he did get back. So well done here by Zeta to get back, and it's going to be controlled by Tincho.
Out to the left-hand side, Merlos looking for Merlos. In this case, it was Santos he was looking for. And once again, Dundas under the caution. Need to be careful not to let them come through. And again, Senor Obregon cutting in nicely. Up at the front, Sarah waiting. Obregon hammers that one down. Sarah Siegel, she'll pick this one up in full run. Nice, good first touch here. Sarah Siegel-Magnus opens the shoulders again. And that one just ever so slightly wide. But what a cracking run here. The pass coming from Geronimo Obregon, and there wasn't much in it, so well done, Dundas, and that would have been the equaliser, making it 10 goals apiece. 5.5. Beg your pardon.
Nice run there. She got out in front, and this has been the first run that Sarah had the second half. So now they've changed it up a little bit. The bald-faced pony taking Sarah where she wanted to be, just off to the left side, and here comes Windswept.
Yeah, but again, it's going to be Obregon. Yeah, running into the back end there of Tincho Merlos. Unintentional, of course, but a foul is, of course, a foul.
Well, they'll take a look at this one here because this is one of those ones where you can trigger, and I'm sure the umpires will go ahead and probably just take a look. They're going to talk it out first of all. Is when you see the umpires ride together like that, that says the player, you want to give them their space so they can discuss the matter. And in this case, they're going to ride over here, and they've had a discussion on it, so I guess they're going to figure out by themselves. And we'll see if they decide to talk. They're going to say offsetting penalties. So they're going to say, and I'm going to go in agreement here. As you got one player turning, blocking, as you can see, but then you also have a player, coming into him. Does he need to give him time to get out of there? Is the guy blocking him? Little difficult to say. So they offset it, bowled it for the center, and away we go.
And that looked like it could have been another run here for Harrison Reicher. Getting active, very active indeed. Reicher slightly topped that ball. Where's it going to land? Where's it going to fall? Tincho Merlos just going out. The ball is still in play. Could have sworn that would have gone in. Very unlucky not to get that one through on the boards. Now then, Dundas. He hears the call. He's got Sarah completely out in front and on her own. And don't know if you can hear the conversation going on, but Obregon there just giving some instructions.
Sarah right inside there. She had a near side play. So they'll come together on this one. And as you can see that they were talking her to come in on the near side, but she kind of delayed there. And when Santos was waiting for her to come on the near side, and then she came over the top of it and rode him off kind of into something. So they're going to go ahead and give a spot hit to the Windswept team. But I believe you have timeout for one of the four-legged athletes with 4:36 on the clock, evaluated by one of the mountain officials. They're going to go ahead and let Tincho Merlos change this four-legged athlete out. Beautiful looking chestnut pony. So they'll let him change just before the courtesy change here. So we still have not used the courtesy change in our sixth and final chukker. So with 4:36 on the clock, let's do the math. You got 10-9 in favor of Windswept. They're going to have control of this ball from 149 and a half yards from goal. We'll see if they get a positive possession.
So from the spot then, quickly taken by Santos. Merlos. A little daisy cutter down the field. He's going to chase this one himself. Tincho's up there as well, waiting. Beg your pardon, that of course being Rufino, not Tincho. Hammers that shot. And the goal judge just wanting to make sure she got that right. You can see the flag being waved down to the ground, so it just went out a little bit, overshot that one, went out past the left post from where we're sitting. So Dundas have possession and 4 minutes left on the clock to try and get the much-needed equaliser.
Yeah, tough angle there by Rufy to try to hammer that one from the corner, right along the end line. So now it's back to the Dundas team, and man, they are going to give Zeta way too much room here.
Absolutely. A lot of room to maneuver. Robertito Zeta. Now Obregon tucks in behind the switch around. Oh, that could be costly. Straight away, not wasting any time. Santos Merlos. Yeah, a little bit unlucky there. Once again, Zeta up against Tincho. Tincho coming out on top. Able to clear and get a bit of distance between him and Robertito Zeta. But Obregon faking the backhand. Turns it around. Surrounded there immediately by red shirts from Windswept.
They come together. And this will be something to look at here also. The man, it looked like Santos off to the races. And then they make the hook. Then Tincho's off to the races. Then they come over and make a turn and get into a sword fight down there. And it looked like the mallet kind of slipped up. It might have hit Rufy, so they'll check Ruffino out, but he's a tough kid, trust me. And this will take us to our courtesy change with 3:12 on the clock, and our Mount officials will talk this one out. And, well, they'll send it over to Steve Lane to take a look at also. And we'll get everybody to go ahead and change up all of their four-legged athletes. And so we will be seeing some of the top four-legged athletes in the country out here for this last 3:12, and it should be a very interesting 3 minutes and 12 seconds with a 1-goal difference.
To say the least, absolutely. And as my first day back here this year for the 2023 season, well, I've seen some great 6-goal polo this morning, Dale. I've now seen some amazing, let's just call it 18-goal polo, shall we?
Oh, I know, it's crazy. I said, I knew you were going to be interested. We were talking about it. 6-goal was going to would blow your mind because you just can't even classify the 6 goals. They're running as fast as you can run on the breakaway plays. Of course, you do have some beginner players. You have a lot of our polo school players are playing on the polo school team. Meredith Lovegrove, she just started playing. I actually have been working out with Meredith all the last 2 weeks in the polo school. So she's a true beginner and playing in the 6-goal, doing a fabulous job. And a lot of the teams, you have a lot of beginner or some of our older sponsors playing in it. And you see the speed of that, the pace, we should say. And this 12-goal has just been phenomenal every year. And you're witnessing one of our top games today.
Well, I'm delighted, Dale. Thank you very much. And thank you for making me feel so welcome here. It's been absolutely brilliant this first day. And I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow, 3:30. Make sure you join us. 3:30. First semifinal, our first semifinal.
I'll make sure to join you, Dale.
Make sure you get out of bed. It'll be at 3:30. You'll make it.
The jet lag is over now.
The jet lag's over.
The jet lag is over.
As I said, I figure our executive producer said the quicker you get them in the game, the quicker the jet lag will leave.
And he's right.
Mike said, "Don't worry about him."
He's absolutely right.
You've done a good job getting in the groove already, Yan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Steve Lane, of course, today, you guys earlier, and so it's been a lot of fun. We did have one of our four-legged athletes throw a shoe, and what that means to any of our novice or new viewers is a lot of times those shoes will fall off of a pony when they make a turn or they start to run. The umpires will remove those shoes from the field because a lot of times the nails are still in the shoe and also pointing upwards, so they can be a little dangerous for the four-legged athletes that are playing. So they will take the time to remove that shoe. And a lot of these shoes that they use on these horses are very special or specially made for each horse. So they like to get those shoes back to put them back on. And in this case, it was a windswept horse that lost a shoe. So that's why we're taking a little bit of a longer courtesy change here as they removed that shoe and took it back. And here we go. 3:12 on the clock. Possession in favor of Dundas.
Taken by Geronimo Obregon. And he will, I'm sure, be aware of the fact that clock is ticking down, so he'll want to get that ball down the field as far as he can. Tincho Merlos picking up that ball deep in his own half. Found a lot of room to work with. Mia Cambiaso right at the right time, putting her stick down, and
it looked like there Geronimo kind of slammed on the brakes and going to get caught blocking a group of players flying down the field. Now, tricky ball placement here. It looked like Sarah was downfield on defense, so well done, Sarah Siegel-Magnus. Good read, because if Sarah wasn't downfield, then you could move this ball to the 60, but she had everybody covered up on the paint mare. So they're going to drop this ball from the center, and possession is the big call here in such a close-knit play where we had so many players 30 yards from the center. And really, it was just Sarah downfield with Reicher. So penalty 5B, and here comes Santos.
Merlos hammers that ball deep down the field in the hope that he'll find Tincho. Tincho's got a bit of traffic there in the form of Obregon, but the ball is still in danger. And if I'm not mistaken, Dale, correct me if my eyes deceive me, Harrison Reicher gets himself into the right spot at the right time and picks up his second goal.
Yes, solid shot here by Santos Merlos. As we've talked a lot about Santos, his stick work, but I've been impressed with the long ball, and he's been hitting the long ball, especially the way this team is designed, playing with his cousin Rufino. He has to put him in the front, and a super hit ball, great finish by Reicher.
So, ball's back in play. 2 goals now, the cushion in favour of Windswept. As I say, it all turned a little bit after the half-time break. Dundas now on the back foot. Let's see if Robertito Zera can come up with a bit of magic. A little cut shot, difficult angle. Needed to put a lot of power onto that, but you can see it went well wide. So once again, Windswept have possession, and we're down to a minute and 40 left to play here in Chukka number 6.
Yeah, I like the thought process here is Robertito gets out in front on the Bay Pony, and they might as well take the shot because based on the timing, if that ball goes in, that gives them time to get back to the center and have the ability to score a goal. Off to the right side, though, and now control will go back to Windswept.
And that ball not quite getting the length that he was hoping. Merlos immediately being challenged there by Obregon. But he did well, very well indeed. A nice cut shot here once again by Santos. Got the angle he wanted, creates a bit of space for himself. Santos, will he go for the shot? He's going to tap it in a bit closer. Still Santos holding off a little bit fire. In comes Cambiasso. And it's picked up by Dundas. Zeda now has possession. Let's have a look at the clock. We're down to the last 45 seconds. But Windswept just sticking very close to their man, not making it easy. Another chance possible. Oh, an unfortunate bounce here for Sarah Siegel-Magnus. You can see that ball came in and out of a divot. Otherwise, she would have been through as well. Again, Santos trying to do something with it. It goes over towards the halfway line. We're down to the last few seconds. Let's see if Geronimo Obregon, if he can put a finishing touch to this and get his team into double figures. A little bit of a cluster going on over on the far side, but I think most of the players now understood or have recognised that this is a win for Windswept. That only goal coming in the 6th Chukka by Harrison Reicher, and there is the final horn. So congratulations to Windswept, and congratulations also to Harrison Reicher, picking up not only his second goal of the match, but sealing the deal for Windswept. And Dundas, of course, like I said, came very strong in the first half, but now over to you, Dale, for the end-of-game stats.
Thank you, as always, Jan Edick Frank. Great job. And, well, second half, it definitely went to the Windswept team. Let's check the stats. 11-9 at the end, but they're going to go ahead and win on shots on goal. 17 shots compared to 15. Not that much of a difference, but enough in a tight game. Throw-ins won. They won 12, and 10 were won by the Dundas team. So, once again, very close, but those two are a big difference in a close game. Now, this is something Windswept needs to watch out for in their games coming up, because they fouled 17 times. So they need to clean that up a little bit. So 11 fouls committed by Dundas, 17 committed by the Windswept team, and that's where it got a little loose in the second half. We talked about that. In the second Chukka was like that also. And so you're going to have a combined of 29 there. So both teams getting a little loose. Penalty scored, though, 7 by the Dundas team. Congratulations to them. They were very strong. There are only 3 scored by the Windswept team, but they were very strong on their goal shots from the field. And again, their shots on goal. Those shots on goal, what they tell us is how your offensive attack is working. In the second half, it definitely went to the Windswept team. Their adjustments that they made at halftime were very well done, and it showed in the final score here. Very close game, though, back and forth, anybody's game. But thank you, guys. Well done with the stats on in the studio, and I hope you enjoyed our triple header today. Remember, join us tomorrow at 3:30, where we will have our first semifinal of the 2023 Sterling Cup, which should be an awesome game. Audi against Scone. For Jan Edick Frank, I'm Dale Schwetz. I speak for everyone at CTV Sports when I say thank you for making us the leaders in polo broadcasting. And remember, everybody here at CTV Sports, we love the polo.